9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4, 3, 2,
and 1.
Well, make some noise, Mumbai. Good morning and welcome to TCS's grand coding spectacle, CodeVita. CodeVita today is synonymous with a platform that offers students across the globe to come together on one global platform and compete for this coveted glory. As we speak, this event is being broadcasted across the globe, and we have a global audience that is viewing this particular event. To take you through this glorious morning, I will be your co-host. My name is Andrew Skoshi, and with me is Salome Sam. Wave out to the audience. And we'll be taking you through this day. Over to Salome.
Hello. The first season of CodeVita was held in 2012 in India with an aim to spread awareness on the various applications and use of coding in India. The response and feedback was so overwhelming that within 2 years since its inception, CodeVita went international by inviting participants from across the globe to come together on one platform that was hosted by one of the most respected brands in information technology, Tata Consultancy Services.
CodeVita today garners over 2 lakh plus applications from over 68 countries and over 3,000 plus institutions, and of which the top 25 participants from 2 lakh registrations, top 25 participants, our contestants, coveted, came down to Mumbai and competed yesterday for the grand finale. And today we are here to acknowledge, appreciate, and award the winners. They come from different places across the globe. We said the registrations came from all 7 continents. And we have contestants today from the UK, China, Singapore, Peru, Hungary, and Czech Republic, and of course, India.
This majestic room today has the presence of people from diverse backgrounds and cultures. We have the presence of some veterans from TCS leadership teams, our contestants, and a fantastic group of budding engineers from different colleges across Mumbai. We are also honored to have with us the distinguished Second Secretary, Embassy of Peru, Mr. Fabio Subiadais. We welcome you all to this grand setting.
CodeVita comes to Mumbai for the second time, this time much grander and vibrant than the last time. Today, we know that we are in TCS Mumbai, and TCS is headquartered in Mumbai for the students out there. And TCS Mumbai thrives a lot of inspiration from this city, that of Mumbai, a city that never stops, a city that continues to thrive despite all odds. And that story is no different for TCS. And there is one person with us here today who makes it possible for TCS Mumbai.
It is none other than Mr. Chaitanya Sathe, Vice President and Delivery Center Head Mumbai and the Corporate Safety Leader for TCS.
Can we have a huge round of applause, please?
He has been associated with TCS for over 28 years and has experience of managing deliveries across all major domains at TCS. Let us have a huge round of applause and call upon Mr. Sathe for the opening invite.
Good morning. 7th season. That's really phenomenal. We keep on seeing many things having seasons after seasons, running seasons after seasons. But something like CodeVita, to run for 7 seasons, to create the reach, shows what TCS is. And we have stalwarts here today. Ajay Mukherjee, he has done coding way back. When I joined TCS, a lot of my friends used to wonder, and IT was still not known, used to wonder, so what do you people do sitting in front of a monitor and hitting away on the keyboard? That was coding. It kept on catching up. What TCS did was something wonderful. It made people look at coding differently. It asked people to find out how they can optimize, how they can make the code more efficient. And as we went along, we have seen requirements because of different platforms coming up for the code to be more open. It should be plug and play. And when TCS started this in 2012, the intent was to create that excitement, to see that energy. And the name is so apt, CodeVita. Vita is energy, Vita is vitamins. It is exciting to see code working. It is exciting to see code solving a problem. And that's what was put out there for teams in India and overseas. And the growth that we have had, as we just saw on the AV, is phenomenal. And I'm sure that it's going to grow leaps and bounds. When we have teams competing from across the globe, when we have people who are so excited to code, to solve problems, it is really great. So I said, Ajay Mukherjee has written code way back. And obviously the way coding was done was different, but now it's changed. We have Dr. Mohanty, who's been at the helm of creating frameworks, of creating reusable components. Again, by writing code which can be used across platforms. I have wetted my hands for long, and it was always an endeavor through discussions to find out how we can make the code work better. How can it be more efficient? And it's really wonderful to see and hear over all these years, all the teams striving with that same energy and excitement that we used to have way back to write code for solving problems. That's the energy of CodeVita. That's the excitement that it creates. And I welcome everybody out here, the teams from different countries, the teams from India, obviously. All of you are here, Ajay, Dr. Mohanty, Krish, Amol Khanapurkar, who connected with me last year and said that we want to do CodeVita, where should we do it? And I said it has to be done here at Olympus. And I'm so happy that it has happened at Olympus. The grand venue that we have and the team out here at Olympus, the HR team which has ensured the reach, that we are able to provide the right kind of support, Commander Avinash and team, everybody has contributed. And that's why we see CodeVita so different. I keep on reading about many of such initiatives being launched, but I think CodeVita is unparalleled. The kind of problems that are put forth to people, the kind of solutions that people provide, the kind of ideas that people come up with, and that is what TCS is. We want people to come up with new ideas. We want people to look at things differently. And I'm sure that is not only going to help all of the finalists, but it's going to help TCS by itself. So welcome again. Thanks for participating. Thanks to all of you for being here. Let's have a great fun. Thank you.
So I was talking to the organizers of CodeVita 2019, and they have clearly told me that they've never seen a DCH more enthusiastic and a branch more enthusiastic to hold CodeVita ever. Can we put it up for all in Mumbai and Chaitanya and his team that make this possible? CodeVita is a unique collaborative effort of many business units and many functions here at TCS. There are many leaders who have been instrumental in making CodeVita what it is today. And one such leader is none other than TCS's Chief Technology Officer, Mr. Anand Krishnan. For the ones who have not seen him, he was the one who flagged off CodeVita with the 1 during the countdown. Anand is an alumnus of the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, and he has been listed in Computer World's premier 100 IT leaders of the year 2007, and he has also been chosen as one of InfoWorld's top 25 CTOs. He's a permanent fixture of every CodeVita event that has happened so far, but it is unfortunate that Anand will not be able to join us in person. Nevertheless, he has recorded a keynote address over a video for all of us here today. Can we please have the video?
My personal welcome to all present at the TCS CodeVita Series 7 finals. This is the biggest event in the TCS calendar from the perspective of engaging with you, the stars of the student community. Best wishes to those in the finals. I'm very happy to note that country diversity is very well represented. Many of you are from Asia, from China, from Hong Kong, from Taiwan, from Singapore. Many from Europe, South America, and of course India has the largest contingent. 3 of you are repeat finalists. And special welcome back to all of you. The only point that I noted with some sadness is that there are no women finalists this time. Perhaps next year. Special mention this time of the participation of the larger TCS through the CodeVita communities online on our social network to contribute to the questions at various parts of the competition. This is really becoming a mass movement inside TCS and of course in the academic world. It shows the importance that we in TCS place on this very foundation of our profession. Converting abstract thought into something tangible that a machine can process and produce useful outcomes is perhaps the most beautiful thing that we as computer scientists and engineers can conceptualize. Alan Turing laid the foundation of this in his landmark paper in 1936, when in trying to solve a very complex mathematical problem, he proposed the universal machine. In the 1940s, he and others actually built machines which were the first realizations of that concept. Today, we know these as computers. And computers have moved from the remote mystery of being in data centers to being part of our lives almost all over the world. The importance, therefore, of what you are embarking on cannot be underemphasized. It has to be something that will define humanity in this millennium. Software is already driving not just the world of business or the world of government. It is pervading the daily lives of billions of people. It is in the devices that we use for communication, what we have in our homes. It is driving knowledge and learning. Software is at the heart of transportation, be it on the ground, on the oceans, in the air, and perhaps into space as well. And software is also getting embedded into our very cells in the form of implants, in the form of intelligent devices, and in discovering and implementing new forms of therapy. So when I say that you have not just personally a great future ahead of you, but you collectively will be defining the future of humanity. Good luck for a podium finish in today's competitions, but more than that, best wishes for your future careers. Thank you.
Truly inspiring message, wasn't it? The chief guest for this afternoon is a noted personality in the world of IT and intellectual property, and even more so in TCS. He's a wizard in the world of mathematics and has a PhD in mathematical sciences and MS in computational mathematics from Northern Illinois University, ILUS. In his current role, Dr. Mohanty drives TCS IP management strategy in a dynamic environment influenced by technology-led business disruption and currently leads Components Engineering Group TCS. His unit is among the top recruiters from CodeVita in India. It's an honor to welcome Dr. Mohanty to deliver today's main talk.
Dear global participants, students, invited faculty, invited guests, all of you who are watching this program live through digital media, and the TCS team. Very good noon, India Standard Time. It's such a wonderful event today that we are celebrating the TCS CodeVita Season 7, the grand finale. And today, being here and watching this program, you are all a winner because you are learning something and you are taking something forward. You must be hearing everywhere that software is eating the world and everything is now software defined. Software defined radio that you are experiencing every day, software defined network that you are experiencing every day, and you'll start experiencing that your software defined refrigerator, software defined dishwasher, software defined air conditioner. There is some software there, but you will see more and more software getting in there. And you must have watched one tagline, code to power and power to code. I repeat, code to power and power to code. What does it mean? Our software development is going through software development and software is going through a paradigm shift. A software is becoming a super software. When you say somebody a superhuman being, what you imagine in your mind? That this person has the capability to take any challenge and solve it. So that's what you think about a superhuman being. In the same way, if we say a software is a super software, then natural expectation is that at least for a defined set of problems, whether this software will be able to think like a human, think like a smart human, and would be able to take a decision on right time, on real time. And that's the paradigm shift that is happening, that a software going forward will become more and more super software. And on the back end, how the change is happening. While I do not intend to oversimplify things, but that's what is all of our responsibility, to understand the complexity of the problem and try to put it in a simple way. So if you look at the traditional software development, given a defined problem, you understand what's the requirement on which the software will develop, and then you come up with a set of process steps and set of rules, and that you codify and make the things executable so that it can run, and you know it all. But you also know that whenever on a business point of view or a society point of view, what suggestion that you get, you may not accept that suggestion. And today, as a human being, I am suggesting, tomorrow a software suggesting me to suggest something to you, that whether you accept or you are not going to accept. Now, if I record that what's the decision that I have given to you, or what's the suggestion that I have given to you through a prompting from a software, and whether you have taken that suggestion, acted upon that suggestion, or you didn't. And after acting upon that suggestion, whether the result or the outcome that you have achieved, if all those things, informations are available, then they can get into the learning system by itself, and software can understand. And when the next event happens, then from this understanding, software can become smarter. Will be able to help you a suggestion which is more practical and having a more likelihood that you will be able to practice and honor. For example, let us talk about an apparel store. In India, like a West Side or a Superstore, or in the US like a Macy or a JCPenney, think of an apparel store. Today, you are walking into one of these stores with a mindset to buy some designer clothes, right? As you walk in, as you park your car and walk in, think if there is a software on which the superstub or a website is running, most likely that you will walk in with a cell phone with you, and the number is available. That can be tracked. And once that is tracked, then you know this cell phone belongs to whom. And if you have access to the data in the social media of that person who is having cell phone, then you know what he or she is talking about. You know his or her friend circle. You know whether someone else has come here recently to buy something on his or her friend circle. You know what the last time this person has a footfall in this store or in some other store. And thereby, as he or she is moving into the store, you started sending SMS that, hey, happy to see you here today. This is something new arrivals for you. Probably you will like it. So this contextual knowledge, if can be tracked and can be provided to a potential buyer, then the possibility of buying will go up. So if we have to build this capability in a software, then look at the challenging things that one has to understand. And that one means the code, which will be the backbone of that software. The context, that somebody is walking into the apparel store. And the content, that since she is walking into the apparel store, potentially she is going to buy certain clothes. I don't know whether it's a designer choice clothes or a commodity clothes. I don't know at this point of time. I am watching. But in the back end also, I want to see that with who are her friend circles by going through the social media. I do not know as a software of a superstub, I do have access to that LinkedIn or a Facebook or Twitter or not, because I may have to pay price for that. And if so, getting the data on real time means in sub-second time, playing it back, along with this person's last set of transaction in this apparel store or in some apparel store, if I do have data in the database that is available in the world, and if I have access. And then summarizing it and suggesting something. So in summary, you need to able to understand the context. The context may keep on changing. If I am the person, I am getting into the store, initially I may move on to a general aisle, but then suddenly I move my direction and move on to a designer's choice aisle. So you should be immediately able to track that context. Context is no more walking into the store. Context now changed from a general aisle to a designer's choice aisle. And accordingly, my suggestion is going to change. And everything has to happen on a sub-second time. So the context is very important, and context may dynamically change. That's the first C. Given that context, the software should understand what's the content that I need to analyze. And this content should come from a confluence of sources. And given that I know that what kind of content that I have to get, do I have the contract to get those content from those sources? If I do not have the contract, that's the third C, I will not be able to collect those contents. And if I do have the contract, now I can go and collect those contents. So that's the fourth C, the collect. Once I do the collection, then I have to do the cognition. Means the data that I get from the multiple sources, given the context, how I will understand the cleanliness of this data for this context, and the insight that I have to generate from this data. So the cognition has two parts. Understanding the cleanness of the data for the context, and the insight that has to be generated. And once I have that cognition, then I will start communicating the media that is with me, right? The SMS, the video, the chat bot, or the voice bot, or a call or through a call. So that's the communication part. So these are all C's that your context, content, contract, collection, cognition, and communication. All these things has to happen on a real time to attract a buyer, giving him or her an impression that you have given a personalized choice to him. And if you are a shopper, you just cannot run your business by giving personalized choice to 10 people. If you are a shopper, you have to give this personalized choice to everybody. Then only you can run your business for a long time. So that means you need to know the art of mass personalization. That means your software, which is running your shop, should have that art and science. And for that, the backend, the amount of data that you need to analyze, not from your source, from so many sources in the world, putting it in the right context, getting the right insight, providing the right suggestion, is the art. And if you can master that art, then the code behind the software will give that power to the business, to the society, to the government, to do better services to citizens, to consumers, and in the societal economy. And to do that, the code will give that power. We need to give that power to the code. So power to code is that how to ensure code itself is thinking, right? That cognitive capability, number one. Number two, that the non-functional capability around the code. For example, you are going to get the data from multiple sources. If a data source is some IoT devices, how do you ensure that data doesn't have any vulnerability? So there are many aspects that all of you know: vulnerability, reliability, all availability, and all those things that one should analyze, right? And then most importantly, the software that you develop alone may not solve a given problem. You may have to depend upon multiple other software. That's where I use the word called confluence. That multiple other software could be some of them yours, some of them third parties, some of them open source. Whenever it comes to a third-party software or open source software, and whether you have a license, purchase license, or you have a open source, you have to use it. And any open source is not free for use, right? There is certain licensing condition called GPL, LGPL, MSD, a lot of Apache Foundation, lot of licensing conditions. And what is a licensing condition? Licensing condition is the terms and condition on which this thing can be used for a given purpose. That's all about licensing, right? So you have to ensure that when you are operating in an ecosystem, the number of things that you are using, the other software, the other data, not only from an engineering point of view, they are secured, privacy is well maintained, or data protection is well maintained, but also from a usage point of view, you have the right access and right use. And that itself, the software has to learn. That also has to be codified, right? So in addition to the functional capability, also you need to develop this non-functional set of capabilities and make your software cognitive so that the software itself will have that power. And that's the befitting line that I can repeat multiple times, that code to give the power, code to power, and power to code. And with this, I wish all of you very best. If you are the student, think about coding as a career, software development as a career. You will go miles. You will go miles. And when I say you go miles means you will understand what is the problem that this world has. An economic problem, a social problem, an industrial problem, and how it can be solved, and you are an integral part, an integral party to that solution. There will be a lot of challenges. Without challenges, there is no enjoyment, right? So you have to take challenges on a positive note, enjoy it, and start solving problems through building powerful software. And hence, you as a coder have to make the code powerful. That's all what I wanted to share with all of you. Enjoy the event today. Thank you.
Well, for me, I think Dr. Santosh has said that what a coder brings to the table, the paradigm shift that the industry will witness, is witnessing and will witness, and the responsibility of each and every one of us seated here and to be observant and respond to the needs of the customers and the organizations and make a better tomorrow. Thank you so much, Dr. Santosh, for this blessed time that we had to have you with us here today. Moving on with the event, Mumbai has got several tags associated with it. It is India's financial capital. It is the city that never sleeps, the city where dreams come true, and the mecca of the Indian film industry, the Bollywood. Movies play an integral part in influencing every aspect of an Indian's life, be it our work or be it our personal life. We live every moment like a movie, full of action, drama, and romance. We have with us few such coders who have started to romance their codes. Sounds interesting?
Hello.
And you wonder how? I'm going to leave it up to the TCS Maitri band for a CodeVita gig, Romance with My Code. Over to you.
और जब उस नजरें मिली मुझको लगा बॉस वो तो फंस गई सीधी सादी भोली और सिंपल सी थी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी वाली शू नहीं जैसे जैसे मामला आगे बढ़ा उसकी मेरी बॉन्डिंग का सिलसिला चला मामला था सीधा नहीं था पता चला ट्विस्ट एंड टर्निंग से था वो भरा रात दिन उसके पीछे मैंने काट दी फिर भी वो मेरी समझ न आ सकी जितने पास उसके जाता मैं गया उतने इफ एल्स पाता मैं गया धीरे धीरे फाइट्स भी शुरू हो गई फॉर लूप में कंडीशन लग गई कभी कभी तो ये इन्फिनाइट तक गई इनिशियलाइजेशन की वॉट लग गई समटाइम्स तो कंपाइल हो गई रन टाइम पे वो धोखा दे गई रन जो कभी वो हो भी गई रिक्वायरमेंट्स पूरी हो ना सकी मैं बिना जिद बड़ा आशिक सा था उसके पीछे हाथ धो के ऐसे पड़ा मेरी डेडिकेशन पे फिदा हो गई हाय मेरी कोड तो कमाल कर गई मेमोरी एंड टाइम लिमिट एक्सीड ना हुई आफ्टर ऑल डीबग्स एक्सेप्ट हो गई हाय मेरी दिल लगी भी क्या कर गई फेमस मेरी लव स्टोरी हो गई तो बस इतनी सी थी मेरी लव स्टोरी
Wow, how many of us can relate to this? This is what we do at TCS. We don't just write codes, we even enjoy them. Thank you so much, team, for putting this piece together for us today.
Sure.
The team who presented are a part of TCS Maitri, an in-house platform in TCS encouraging associates to pursue their inner passion.
Thank you, Sulobi. Next up is something really special. We have with us someone truly remarkable, an inspiration to many, and a person whom we promise you won't ever forget after today. All of us have overcome many hurdles in our lives, and we continue to struggle with some. Some of us manage to stay afloat, and then there are a few others who have to go through hurdles which are beyond their control. One such example we have in this room and in TCS is Dr. Charudatta Jadhav, who lost his eyesight at the age of 13, but not his vision. He strived to succeed and fulfill the dreams that he had for himself despite all the odds.
Dr. Jadhav heads the Accessibility and Inclusive Design Research and Innovation at TCS. He has 29 plus years of extensive experience and has been a key architect and lead consultant in establishing the accessibility practice within TCS. He has also filed 8 patents, 3 of which have been granted. Charu is passionate about the game of chess, and he has represented India 6 times at the World Chess Championships and Olympiads for the blind. He is the recipient of the National Award for Best Disabled Employee, conferred on him in 2006 by then President of India, Honorable Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, among many other accolades. We are delighted and extremely honored to call upon stage Mr. Charudatta Jadhav to say a few words.
Good afternoon, respected dignitaries, entire CodeVita team, and friends. It's an indeed pleasure to be part of such a great initiative, CodeVita. I'm proud to be associated with this initiative. And I'm sure that this seventh edition, you all might have excited experience during this journey. I will take this opportunity to congratulate all of you who has participated in this CodeVita and also congratulate the finalists. You all are the future of our country. You will be taking this technology flag forward. Today is the digital world. The digital transformation is what we see today. Anand and Dr. Santosh has already spoke about the role of softwares, and you all basically is planning to build your career either as a computer engineer or computer scientist. In today's this important event, I would like to just highlight one important aspect when we build any software, and especially it's very, very important in today's digital world. Let's imagine that you have to work on computer without monitor, or you have to work where either your keyboard or mouse is not working, or you have exploring an audio-visual content and there is no speaker attached. It's difficult, right? It's impossible. So when you imagine such kind of situations, we know that we cannot explore technology. We cannot work on computers or mobiles. Friends, this is the challenge. The 15% of the world's population are facing. Think about the person like me, a visually challenged person who cannot see monitor. The people who have motor disability are unable to use keyboard or mouse. The people who are hearing difficulties are unable to access your audio-visual content where the information has been provided in audio format. These are the challenge, okay? And today we cannot imagine our life without technology. We all see how technology has influenced our life. It is basically from the education to our employment, and every aspect. If you see, we do the banking, we do the e-commerce, online marketing. You take any example, without mobile you cannot look at your life, and this is true even in today. The penetration of mobile, the technology in rural. So even the people from rural areas. But the people with disability, people with the old age who has, the similar challenge which people with disability has with lesser degrees, are facing challenge in exploring technology. And therefore, when we develop a software, it is very important to understand this and consider these requirements as a part of your software development. It doesn't require additional effort, it's required a change in mindset. And if you don't do, we create hurdles. So I have 29 years of experience. When I started my career, I did my engineering in early 90s, where people were unable to believe that the blind person can work on computers. Today, we see that that technology has created big impact on the lives of persons with disabilities. The technology has helped us to overcome our limitations. But still, a challenge remains. When you develop a software, if you don't consider the requirements of person with disability. So let me explain. So how blind person works on computer. Okay, so he used an assistive technology which is called screen reader. It's a text-to-speech, which converts the text into speech, whatever has been shown onto the monitor. This is the only additional software has been used by a blind person, and rest is depend upon his own talent, capabilities, and kind of work he would like to do. Same thing with motor disability. They have used the automated speech recognition, eye tracking mechanism, even some cases the brain-machine interfaces, all those combination of technologies. So when they are unable to use their hands, they still able to interact with computer. So there are list of assistive technologies that be used with person with disabilities. What is important as a software professional or you are a software developer is when you develop a software, this assistive technology should be able to access those information and convey to the person with disability. This is what is important. A lot of people have things that, if you have to do something for blind, we have to enable speech into application. No. I will give an example. When we use an image to convey information, it's very simple technique. So you all will be aware about HTML. There is an alt attribute is a part of an HTML family. So if you have to just make image accessible for the blind, you have to just provide an alternate text to image. What information image is conveying, you just put that in textual form. Now this will not be visible into your screen, so there is no difference in the look and feel of your software. But when a blind person, screen reader focus on image, it extract that value from alt and convey that information. So this is so simple. It's only thing is we need to consider as a part of this, as a software development of this requirement. It's called accessibility. There are standards. If you do this, you'll help these lakhs of people, in the world who are sometimes deprived an opportunity because of lack of accessibility in our products and solutions. And that is what my message to all of you today is that please adopt this as a part of your software development life cycle. Don't forget this requirement. There are 15% of world population has disabilities. There are huge amount of number of people who the people with old age carries these limitations. And with today's digital world, if you don't do this, we will deprive them of enjoying the opportunities which technology provides to them. Now I will give another perspective that why this is important. It's not limited to person with disability. A lot of people think that if you do the accessibility, it just takes care of people with disabilities. It has been realized that the accessibility considerations has helped enhancing the experience of mainstream users. I will give a couple of examples. Think about, you have to respond to your emails, respond to your SMS while driving. You have both hands engaged, so ideally you should not touch your mobile and respond. But if you have to do something like that, or when you are traveling, you are carrying, coming out of airport, you have luggage in hand, and you need to operate your mobile with one hand. All those are situational limitations, and you all may face such kind of situational limitations. You are exploring an audiovisual content in the noisy environment. You are unable to hear the audio. You are using the mobile device while traveling by road where your device is shaking. So when you use touch, it's very difficult to focus on particular icon. So all these are situational limitations. But when we apply accessibility, okay, you also take care of such situational limitations which mainstream user face. So this is why it is very, very important today, that to consider accessibility as a part of your. So you will be entering into IT field maybe next year, in a couple of years' time. Keep this in mind that in this world, accessibility is an integral part of software development. We should not ignore it. The last message to you that this particular domain is not limited to just in software development. It also provides a lot of opportunity in research. So any of you wants to explore your career as a computer scientist, it provides a huge opportunity of research. Today, we see that, that the services has been provided through web and mobile. I, as a researcher, see a trend where the services will be provided in the newer environment. The services will be provided through connected cars. The services will be provided through smart homes, providing with IoTs. And when we think about such environments, you will understand the modalities will be used by mainstream users on interacting with technologies will be the modalities that's been used by person with disabilities. For example, in smart home, today you are sitting at home and you want to switch on, switch off light. When you see today, the speech has been used. You see Alexa, the Siri, and all those has come up with the functionalities, where you could use the voice to control your devices. Very soon, so 15 years back or 20 years back, we never thought that speech could be, adopted into the mainstream technology. But those technologies, speech was important modality for blind and motor disability even 10 years back, 15 years back, because there was no alternative. Even today, we don't see the adoption of eye tracking or brain sensing sensing mechanisms in mainstream. We see some pilots going on. For example, the Nissan and Jaguar is doing some pilots of capturing the brain signal to control the emergency situation, taking over the control from driver to this. So these are at very nascent stage today. But very soon, the way speech has been mainstreamed, we'll see this eye tracking by brain sensing. The virtual gestures will also become robust like speech in another 5 years, 7 years, 10 years time, and this will become an integral part of our technology integration. And at that time, all these modalities will be used in your IoT environment, your connected car. So instead of using visual modalities, we could do same activity, same transaction with newer modalities. And that is where the accessibility is going to play a very important role, because all those modalities as underlying principles of interaction, design patterns is driven by accessibility. So it's a huge opportunity of doing research in IoT, the connected cars using the brain-machine interfaces or the virtual gestures, so which is a core science, and reimagining or redefining the future interfaces. So I will conclude here that please consider this aspect as an integral part, because this is what has created hurdles. If you see, even today, I am standing in front of you confidently because I'm really blessed and fortunate that I could adopt technology early in my life. Secondly, I got huge support from an organization like Tata's TCS, who has created an enabling environment for me. But everybody will not be fortunate we will get all those kind of support. So we as an IT professionals has the additional responsibilities, because technology is going to play important role to create the environment which is inclusive. Technology is going to play a very important role. So you all have a big responsibility to create that enabling environment through practicing software development, which has accessibility as integral part. So a lot of information. I know you may be having the questions of how we should go about this. So there are accessibility standards in W3C. You can go and visit. Just follow those guidelines, and you will see with no additional efforts, with applying the same software methodologies, you could make your application accessible. So to conclude, friends, in digital transformation, and especially you are future of who will be driving this forward, requires this mindset change, and if you adopt this, it will help us to create an inclusive environment and inclusive world. Thanks a lot of giving me this opportunity, and I would like to wish all of you a great future ahead, and God bless you. Thanks a lot.
Wow. Can we once again put a huge round of applause for Dr. Charudatta? The next time when you come across a situation where you say that you can't do it, it's not possible, it's difficult, I want you to remember this moment. I want you to remember this person. And I'm sure that you will draw a lot of inspiration from this person. A person who lost his eyesight at the age of 13 and to go on to do what he does, creating softwares for the blind. He is a legend among us, and we are really glad to have him part of TCS family and the Tata family. Once again, a huge round of applause for Dr. Charudatta. Yes, we speak about harnessing diversity, and this is one organization where it breeds. You might have recently heard about TCS being in the news for all the right reasons, breaking several records, most recently crossing $100 million market capitalization and being one of India's most trusted brands. A lot of the credit and a lot of what we heard today and what we see today is due to the leadership of this organization, which constantly strives to better itself and to create value for its customers, for its employee, and all the stakeholders in the society. You can witness this warmth and encouragement that we receive by witnessing the presence of Mr. Ajoyendra Mukherjee, Executive Vice President and Global Head of Human Resources and the Head of India, Middle East and Africa markets. As TCS scales beyond 411,000 professionals, Ajoy is playing a key role to ensure that the global human resources function is continuously responding to the challenges and opportunities of a dynamic industry. Ajoy joined TCS in 1980 after completing his BE Honours in Electrical and Electronics Engineering from BITS Pilani in India. We would like to call on stage Ajoy to deliver the special address.
Good afternoon. I think, first of all, what I would say is welcome to the people who participated in this contest. It's an amazing contest, and I think a lot of us are speaking, and what I can see is some sort of, let's say, the expression on the faces of the participants is that let's get on with the awards and things like that. Yes, I know that all of you really did a lot, and it's been a contest that has been running over months with 200,000 plus participants as we discussed, and from there on, the number of people going on to the regional rounds and then coming to the top 25. I think that deserves a big round of applause for the top 25 contestants who are here today. And it's no mean feat what you have achieved. And believe me, and I hope all of you really enjoyed cracking the problems that were posed to you. And you enjoyed it as much as the people behind the scenes who were figuring out what kind of challenges do we put to this bunch of people. The real kids who are coming up today, these are the future for the world as we move forward. And I think it was a big challenge for them as well to come up with these kind of problems. So congratulations, and I would like to thank all of you for your participation in this particular contest, which is truly global. As you heard, 2012 is when we started. First couple of years, it was mostly, we kept it within India so that we learn, we figure out what kind of response do we get. And once we realized that, yes, this is getting the right kind of a response within the academia, within the student community, and that was time to take it global. And as we have taken it global, we can see the kind of response that we are getting today, and the kind of enthusiasm, the kind of energy, and the kind of participation, it's really amazing. So I think the credit for this particular contest becoming bigger and larger every year goes to people like you. And as Anand said, I think there are 3 of you who have been to the top 25. This is the repeat for you. And I'm sure as you go back to your colleges, you would communicate about the experiences that you have had while you have been here. And I think you enjoyed not only the contest, but also being in TCS, being in India, some of you who have come from outside, and also experiencing the Tata Group and its experience center in Bombay House. I hope that left you some impressions as you go back into your lives after this, participating in this contest. So wishing all of you all the very best as you move forward, and I think it's time for announcing the awards. I think they have been waiting far too long. So thanks and all the best to all of you.
Well, thank you so much, Ajoy. That's what TCS is all about. He took his time out to be with us here today and encourage us this very day.
Today will mark an end to a grueling session of the 7th edition of CodeVita, which is being dubbed as one of the toughest so far, with a correct submission rate of less than 5%, and by virtue of this, makes some of the most gifted coders to be here with us in the grand finale. Well, you may think that this is just a competition, but that's not all. It promises to be an experience like none other, where contestants are not only here to compete for the coveted glory, but also have fun while doing so.
And I'm sure that they will fondly remember the last few days where they went around Mumbai, both land and sea, making friends and memories for life. They also got a chance to experience the Tata legacy at the Bombay House and the TCS House and met some of our leaders there. Well, I'm sure you're keen to hear from them and the journey that they've had so far. So we bring all that to you and more using a small video. Can we have the video, please?
Programming is magic, and I think it can change the world, and solving problems will make me happy.
I love programming because I can create my own things, just like I'm the king of the world. My HCM coach tell me the CodeVita, and I participate in it. In first, I just want to have try, but I finally got to the final. Yeah.
I think CodeVita is open and great. I can make more friends in it, so I very like it.
Programming is art. It's about how you express your intentions to a machine and get your job done. CodeVita is a different contest when compared to many other contests that are out there. Typically, in other contests, we would be simply solving a problem that requires us to simply analyze a problem, find the matching algorithm which is already existing, and apply it and get the results. CodeVita is different in all that aspects because CodeVita's problems are not that simple. It not only requires analytical thinking, but it also requires you to implement the problem in such a way that it is applicable to your real world.
I prefer to have fun. Yes, have fun.
We refer to this competitive programming as a sport, and like all other sports, the end goal is to enjoy, right? And the purpose of this competitive programming is to learn.
People from all over the world compete in CodeVita. That's why actually I really found it interesting, because I can compete with all the coders of the world and express myself.
CodeVita is a very big competitions, and I'm very honored to have the opportunity to come here, come India, and see the people and see the food and eat the food, and it's very interesting. And
it's not difficult to become a coder, but you have to be regular. The programming is just like mathematics. You should practice, and as much as you practice, you get better at it.
Well, the advice that I will give to my fellow engineers for CodeVita is to try to think before you code, because sometimes when the time is short and you try to code first, and the programs end up in a lot of bugs and it does not go as intended.
I took part in season 5 and season 6 of CodeVita, but I could not make it to the finals. So this year I practiced hard and I took part once again in season 7, and I am here in the finals this year.
I have been participating in CodeVita from the last 3 years, and I was the second runner-up in season 5.
I like that in CodeVita, specifically that the style of the problems is so that even if you have no clue about it in the beginning, you have to think it out, because they don't require a specific knowledge, and it is just your brain power.
I came to know about CodeVita through my college. Our seniors and faculty told me about it, and then I registered for it. The journey has been amazing. Like the questions, they are very relatable to real life problems, so it's really fun to solve them. And when I came here, I found out I was the youngest one in here. So it's been very thrilling experience and a lot of things to learn.
As with all engineering problem solving, it's fun, but unlike hardware, if you mess it up, stuff doesn't catch on fire, which is a big bonus.
The fun you had throughout this journey is clearly evident to all of us here now. Well, it's time for what this event is all about. In a few minutes from now, we will be announcing the winner of this year's CodeVita challenge. But before we do so, we would like to acknowledge the hard work of a few people who make CodeVita possible. It is our duty to acknowledge these heroes on such a grand platform. May I call upon Dr. Santosh Mohanty, our chief guest, to felicitate the technical team that power CodeVita. Upon Amol Khanapurkar, the Chief Technology Officer for HR, who has been the driving force of this contest. I also call his entire team to join us on stage. Mitul Shah, Ipsita Upadhyay, Yash Tiwari, Kamlesh Mugdia, Shubham Agarwal and Shashi Tripathi.
Can we have a huge round of applause for this team?
Has played an instrumental role to ensure this event gathered so much popularity and lakhs of applications from India. He is Mr. Dilip Murugesan, Head Campus Commune Development. He is not present with us here today in person, so on his behalf, may I request Jagannath Gopalakrishnan, Head Branding for Talent Acquisition Group, to come on stage and collect the memento on his behalf.
Irrespective of whoever takes home the grand prize today, we remember that we have some of the most talented and gifted coders from across the globe who make it to the CodeVita final and thereby making this program a credible genius. All of them have to be duly acknowledged and appreciated to make it to this grand finale, as the finalists had a journey of over 2 lakh applicants. Therefore, we at CodeVita would felicitate each contestant before we announce the final winner. Let me call upon Mr. Chaitanya Sate on stage to make this happen. Thank you, sir. Now, I will call upon the names, and may I request the contestants to come on stage and collect the certificate of merit from Mr. Sate. The first name that I have is Pham Quan Min from Singapore. Pham, can we have you on stage? Next up, we have Prakash Jha from Assam, India. Next up, we have Pei Liang Liu from China. Next up, we have Tang Win In from Hong Kong. Next up, we have Mohammad Baid from Kolkata. Next up is Gautam Khanna from Kolkata. Next up, Sai Krishna from Hyderabad, India. Next up, Shwetang Modi from Kolkata, India. Next up is Chaitanya Sai Alaraparthi from Hyderabad, India. Next up is Li Weizhuang from China. Next up is Ye Wei Chui from China. Next up is Kushan Mehta from Gujarat, India. Next up is Andrash Ailiash from Hungary.
Please keep the applause going.
Next up is Dominic Smersh from Czech Republic. Next up is Next up is Hans Jeffrey Amaru Robledillo from Peru. Next up is Sun Jia from China. Next up is Chen Xing from China. Next up is Jakub Sukanek from UK. Next up is Ondrej Hipš from Czech Republic. Next up is Brian Tony Cipriano Tarazona from Peru. Next up is Cheng Xingliang from China. Next up is Hans Martin Acha Carranza from Peru. Next up is Rishabh Daga from Kolkata, India. Next up is Chung Ing Lee from Hong Kong. And we have the last contestants now. Sheng Wei Hung from Taiwan.
Now it's time for which we all have been waiting. Let me call upon Krish Ganeshan, Head Talent Acquisition Group, to please come on stage to felicitate the winner of the third prize. The third prize goes to Chen Xing from University of Electronic Science and Technology of China. The winner takes home the certificate for third prize, a medal and check of $3,000.
Can we have a huge round of applause, please? Thank you. Thank you so much, Ganesha.
Let me call upon Fabio Subia Dias, Second Secretary, Embassy of Peru, to stage to felicitate the winner of the second prize. Excited to know to whom the second prize goes? Yes? Yes. The second prize goes to Sheng Hu Hung from National Chiao Tong University, Taiwan, China. The certificate for second prize, a medal and check of $7,000.
Okay, the moment of truth. 25 contestants flew over different parts of the world for this very moment. Do you want to take a guess? The crew, the contestants, who takes home the first prize? Which country would it go to? Would it go to China, just the way the second and the third did? Will it go to any of the other countries? We have Hungary, we have UK, we've got Czech Republic, we've got Singapore, we've got Taiwan, and of course, we've got India. Who takes home the grand prize? Let's see. To give away the prizes, let me call upon Dr. Mohanty once again on stage. And we also would like to request the executive sponsor of CodeVita, Ajoyda, to join him on stage to give away the grand trophy. All excited, contestants? Attach a spring to your seat. You might just be the person. At least 23 of you might be those. Ladies and gentlemen, the CodeVita champion for 2019 goes to a person from Charles University, Czech Republic, Dominic Spurs. Dominic, can we have you on stage here? And we have a huge round of applause going for Dominic. He takes home a grand CodeVita trophy. He will also take home the Certificate of Merit. He'll take home the winner's medal and a check of rupees $10,000. May I request the dignitaries to continue to be on the dais. Meanwhile, I'll take Dominic out. Now, Dominic also came last year, and he didn't have a podium finish. So he came back again. He registered for CodeVita, sailed over 2 lakh participants, and what the organizers say is the toughest CodeVita season ever, with a correct submission rate of less than 5%. Dominic, we want you to share your story of how this all means to you.
So it's such amazing opportunity to be here. I mean, when I first came last year, it was just basically because of my girlfriend, because without her, I wouldn't even know about this competition in the first place. So big thanks to her. And yeah, even though like my first attempt here was not, well, I mean, I get to the final, so it was still amazing experience to flew all the way to India and to find out how like to live in it for even though a couple of days. And because it was such interesting experience for me, I decided to give it a shot one more time. And yeah, when I did, I didn't like. I was hoping to get here again, but I didn't even think that it could end up so good as I did. So, yeah.
Wow. Once again, let's put a hand for Dominic. I'm sure the people of his country and his university are rejoicing as we are here today. May I call upon all the top podium finishers, the second and third winners on stage as well. And we'll have a few more for a commemorative group photo.
Mr. Krish Ganesh, Mr. Chaitanya Sati, please if you could just join us on stage. Mr. Fabio, if you could join us as well, please.
Well, this image is going to frontline a lot of newspapers tomorrow and across the digital media. May I call all the other contestants, because it's a stage that very few get a chance to come to. May I call all the contestants to come on stage, and may I also call the Mumbai HR head Shalini Gupta to join them on stage. Please come over, everyone. All the contestants. This is a photograph that will go to 25 universities in their halls of fame. Thank you so much, contestants, and all the dignitaries for making this possible. Thank you so much. You can head back to your seats now. Well, that marks the end of a fine afternoon for this grand venture. One of the key purposes of CodeVita is to encourage talent like these and to spot them. And we have with us the one who heads global talent acquisition and enables TCS to do that with empowering platforms such as these. He's none other than Mr. Chris Ganeshan, the global head of talent acquisition and the academic interface program for TCS. He also heads the Center of Excellence in People Transition through mergers and acquisition in TCS. May we call Mr. Ganeshan to propose the word of thanks.
Good afternoon. Wow, what an event. 210,000 registrations to almost close to 100,000 competitors to finally 25 people and the winner. So guys, a big round of applause to all the 25 contestants and the top 3. This has been a truly amazing journey for the last 7 years, with CodeVita becoming increasingly the benchmark now with countries across. Previously, people used to talk about Code Jam and Google Jam. Today, as we speak across, Jagan and team has made sure this video broadcast is now spread to almost all countries wherever the participants are. And we find quite a lot of trending going all across. So a big round of applause to all the participants and the organizers and things like that. An event of this engagement and scale can't be pulled off by just one person. There has been a tremendous amount of coordinated effort from a large amount of stakeholders, both in India and overseas. And it's my duty now to present to you a word of thanks. So it is important that I make sure I name all the people, and in case I forget few names, it's not that we don't recognize them, it's just that time is a constraint, and we'll make sure to acknowledge and recognize all the contribution that each one has made over this. I can see many who have graced the occasion, while there have been some invisible hands, brilliant minds, and untiring bodies behind the success of this event. I know as of last night, a lot of people went to sleep somewhere around 3 a.m., not because they were partying in Bombay, but they were just making sure that the mic works, the last minute plugging happened, and all the videos that you saw, the effort that went in, each and every one of these events was all done. So tremendous amount of work went into all this. I can see some great minds that have brilliant minds and untiring bodies behind the success of this event. It's my pleasure to acknowledge such selfless individuals and teams that have relentlessly strived to put this flawless execution of this meticulous planning. Ladies and gentlemen, as I call out these names, I request a thunderous applause for the valuable contribution in making this mega event a grand success. Chaitanya Sate for this leadership and support. When we just called him this time and said, Sate, we need help, I think he lived by his name as a friend. He said, where else, plus Amchi Mumbai. And Sate, thanks to all the support that you have provided, starting from your admin support to the connectivity to all the events organizers and support that you have provided. Thank you very much over there. The technical team of CodeVita led by Amol and his team, you saw this. I always envy Amol because his job is not easy. He has to pit the questions against the top minds across the world. So his team of 1+8 has to compete not with just a set of people here, but they have to compete against the top global minds. So Amol and team, a big round of applause for all that you guys have done. Our good friend and mentor K. Paddy, who is not here, who has tirelessly worked to put some of those questions. The TCS Olympics admin headed by Commander Avinash and his team Gaurav, Anil and Ramya. At this day of event, we always fondly recall all our defense personnel. So Commander, a big thanks to all you and your team also, please. The ISM team of Smriti and Sahu, IS team of Amit and Mateen and the team, Aruna Barito and the TAG helped us, and then the team. Ratan Chopra and his Mumbai TAG team, you still have to meet the target, but it is very important for you to know that. Naini, Shakti, Nandan, the campus community team led by Dilip, who could not be there, but Jagan compensated for his presence over there. Shalini and our Mumbai HR team. Our MCs, Andrew and Salome, I think you guys did a very good job of keeping the tempo with the Gen Z and Gen X teams over here. Corporate communication team of Sonal, Akshita, Arushi, Shilpa and others. Associates from the APAC region who have joined us for the finale, Gio Meng, Josin and Wing. Other geography partners, Mauricio and his team from LATAM, Voyalo from Hungary, Safras from Middle East, Rumiko from Japan, Cecilia and Jennifer from US, Anshu Kapoor and Leva from UK. Though you're not there, I'm sure you're there on a video or a call, so thank you very much for all the help that you guys have done. Our regional campus team have worked out tirelessly for all the promotions and taking CodeVita from strength to strength. TAG branding team led by Jagan, Sunil, Manoj and team from the CTO Research Labs, our event partner Helios led by Bala. I think phenomenal support and all the coordination you have done. And in case if I have missed thanking anybody, it's just that it's not listed here, that's all. But I know there's been a tremendous amount of hard work and dedication that's going on. So guys, until next time, thank you very much for this great event, and I hope to see more and more women next time. With that, thank you and take care and Godspeed when all of you travel back. Thank you very much, please.
Well, that ends the action on stage. We thank each of you for being a great audience. I would request the dignitaries to proceed for lunch in the executive dining area. We have Ram from the TAG team who will escort you towards the dining area. We request all the contestants, organizers and volunteers to stay back for a commemorative group photograph. Meanwhile, we request the students to proceed to the pre-function area at the back of the auditorium where you will be served lunch by our volunteers. Thank you so much for your presence here.